From Stonehenge, the amazing Randi.
Ladies and gentlemen, you may believe that what you're seeing is genuine levitation done by someone with psychic powers. And what better place would there be in the whole world to present this illusion than here among the megalithic monuments of Stonehenge? But please don't be deceived. I don't have psychic powers. I'm merely an illusionist. Tonight, we're going to look into the difference between psychic powers and illusion. Join us for Exploring Psychic Powers Live.
Exploring Psychic Powers, live, starring James Randi, with mathematical wizard Arthur Benjamin, psychic Sylvia Brown, quackery expert Bob McCoy, illusionists Penn and Teller, and special guest Uri Geller. And now, your host, Bill Bixby.
Good evening, and welcome to a fascinating journey, a journey into the unknown. Tonight, we will examine claimed psychic powers and paranormal phenomena that have intrigued mankind for eons and remain the subject of controversy today. Our star, renowned psychic investigator James Randi, will lead us on an in-depth investigation of psychic powers. Are these powers genuine or are they imagined? Tonight, we will attempt to find out. We will see demonstrations of ESP, astrology, predictions, aura reading, divining for water, psychometry, firewalking, psychic surgery, and channeling. We'll examine quackery and meet a man who can calculate numbers faster than a computer with his amazing special powers. Our exploration tonight will take us around the globe to France, birthplace and resting place of Allan Kardec, the father of spiritualism. To Brazil, perhaps the most fertile area for paranormal activity in the world, where psychic healers and mediums claim to have produced medical miracles and works of art by communicating with spirits. We will visit England's famed Stansted Hall, the only college in the world devoted to the study of communicating with the dead. We will journey to Sri Lanka, where ordinary people with extraordinary determination eat fire and walk barefooted over burning coals. Also tonight, in the $100,000 Psychic Challenge, 7 people who claim to have supernatural powers may prove their powers are real. A woman who claims to have ESP. An astrologer. An aura reader. A man who finds water with divining rods. A psychometrist who reads people by touching objects they've had in their possession. And 2 people who have made predictions. Also tonight, for the first time ever in the same studio, James Randi and Uri Geller. These 2 men have been feuding for years. Randi says that Uri's claims are unsubstantiated. Uri promises to perform an amazing demonstration of his psychic powers here tonight.
Hi, I'm Uri Geller, and tonight what I'll be asking you to do is prepare broken watches, broken clocks, broken house appliances, buy the television set. Have them ready, because I will try to do something amazing in your own home tonight. So don't forget, have them prepared.
Amaze me? The only thing that Geller could do tonight to amaze me would be to admit that he's a trickster who has tried to deceive a lot of people.
Can Uri do it, or is Randi right? We'll find out when we continue exploring psychic powers live. Welcome back to Exploring Psychic Powers as we broadcast live via satellite to countries all over the world, including the United States, Canada, Italy, and Australia. Tonight, 7 individuals will have the chance to prove they have psychic powers. With 7 challengers, there's a possibility we could give away $700,000 tonight. Now, to qualify for the prize money, Each of our psychic challengers has agreed to put their psychic powers to a test. The experts who designed scientific protocol for these tests are with us tonight. Dr. Stanley Krippner, the world's foremost expert in parapsychology and a professor of psychology at Saybrook Institute in San Francisco. And collaborating with Dr. Krippner is Dr. Ray Hyman, a professor of psychology at the University of Oregon in Eugene and a respected statistician. Together, these two men have worked with the challengers to establish the rules by which each of the psychic challenges will be conducted. We'll be seeing more of Dr. Krippner and Dr. Hyman later. But right now, let's meet once again a man who, in addition to being one of the world's foremost investigators of paranormal activities, is also a master illusionist. He's uniquely qualified to tell the difference between illusion and paranormal powers. He's the author of many books on the subject, including Flim Flam. Ladies and gentlemen, the amazing Randi.
Thank you so much. You know, I'm an illusionist by trade, that is to say a conjurer, or if you wish, magician. I have no psychic powers whatsoever, nor does any magician. We don't claim that. But as a magician, I think that I'm uniquely qualified to expose trickery when it occurs in parapsychology or in psychic claims, and particularly when it's self-deception. Now, at this point, we're going to do a demonstration. We have asked for a volunteer. We're going to show you what psychokinesis is. Psychokinesis is the apparent power of the mind to change, alter, or move, or in some way affect material objects. We'll do two demonstrations for you. We have a volunteer from the audience that we spoke to earlier. Yes, this gentleman over here. We chose him because he does have a watch that will show up well on television. How do you do, sir? You haven't met me before. Just to get you out of the audience. What is your first name?
Miguel.
Miguel, you have a watch in there. Hold on to it for a moment. These are teaspoons, stainless steel spoons, I imagine. Can you see stainless written on there someplace? It probably is.
Yes.
It does say stainless. Very good. Have you ever seen the stainless steel psychometry trick? Watch this. Psychometry. I mean, parapsychological trick. Watch. Would you hold on to this for me like that with your elbows on the table, please? Make life easier for you. Just turn to that camera right there, if you would. Now, I'm just going to begin stroking this spoon, and you're going to see something mysterious happen. You know, a psychic who at one time was doing this sort of trick is no longer doing it because every 12-year-old magician has learned how to do it. And Miguel, not too tightly, very lightly, please. Just very lightly. It used to be done a great deal, but now the magicians and the kids are doing it too. Miguel, let go of that for me for a moment. Just let go. You'll see that it seems to be turning sort of fluid, doesn't it? Look at this. And right before your very eyes, now you're up close to it, you can see it happening. Look, it seems to be getting soft and turning all sort of putty-like. Put your hands underneath it there. I think oh, it fell in two pieces. A miracle of a semi-religious nature. Thank you. Now would you remove your watch for me, please? Now, this watch is a what? A Seiko watch, a very good watch, obviously. And it says on it, 18 minutes past 5. Am I correct?
Yes.
We can show that on the camera right here, I believe. 18 minutes past 5. Now, I'm going to ask you to hold it flat in your hand like this. If you would, put the finger of your other hand on the back of it. Now, concentrate, all right? You have to help me now. Oh, look, I can feel the power working. I don't have to do this. The Magician's Union likes it, though, you see. Now, let me take a peek here. Not yet. I'm going to try to make it stop and go back before the show so we can get started again. Let's take a peek at it now. Miguel, what time does it say?
It's 4:43.
4:43. How time flies when you're having a lot of fun, don't you think? Now, I demonstrated these things for you folks because you must learn that tricks can be done that will deceive you, and they appear to be paranormal. There's nothing paranormal about this at all. Thank you, Miguel.
Can I get it back to you?
I believe so.
Our exploration tonight begins with ESP, extrasensory perception. We've all heard about it. I think many of us have even experienced it. I think I have. ESP is perceiving something or communicating outside of normal sensory channels. In other words, clairvoyance, telepathy, thought transference, or premonition. Is there such a thing as extrasensory perception? Ask anyone who's ever been a parent. Now, obviously, ladies and gentlemen, this little boy was never in danger. A little damp, maybe. There we go. But never really in danger, because what you just saw was one of the special effects at Universal Studios Hollywood. Now, tonight, in our first $100,000 psychic challenge, we will attempt in this limited experiment to determine if there is such a thing as ESP. And since the test takes more than 2 hours, it has already begun. ESP challenger Valerie Swan from San Francisco is 34 years old, a single parent with 1 child. Valerie works as a professional crystal healer and says that ESP is an outgrowth of her overall psychic awareness. Now, during her test, Valerie will be shown a total of 250 standard ESP cards. And as each card is placed before her, face down, she must describe the shape printed on the other side of the card. Is it a star, a square, example star, example square, example wavy line, a circle, or a plus? Her responses will be totaled at the end of the show, and if she correctly identifies 82 out of the 250 cards, she will win $100,000. Now, Dr. Hyman, 82 out of 250 cards, that doesn't seem very hard to do.
Believe me, it would be extremely unlikely if anyone could get 82 out of 250 just by chance.
Well, you're the expert. So, while Valerie continues to concentrate on her test, you can test your powers of ESP tonight by taking part in the first live national ESP test ever conducted on television. And here's how it works. The card locked under this glass is similar to the cards our ESP challenger is using. It was selected face down at random by Dr. Krippner, and all of the other cards in the deck were destroyed. No one in the studio knows what the card is. On the back of this card, there is either a star, a square, wavy lines, a circle, or a plus. Now study the card closely. Concentrate. Try to picture the shape on the other side of the card. Do you have it?
If you see a star, dial 1-900-490-6331. For a square, 6332. For wavy lines, 6333. A circle, 6334. A plus, 6335. Callers will be charged $2 per call. Place your call in the National ESP test now. Results will be announced at the end of this program. Coming up, Penn and Teller and the $100,000 Astrology Challenge on Exploring Psychic Powers, live.
My next guests have been called con artists and swindlers. They prefer the term rip-off artistes. Now, in addition to the rather large sum of money that they're being paid to do this show tonight, they're also trying for the $100,000 prize. Ladies and gentlemen, Penn and Teller.
There you are, Randy. We're only on one front, man. And that is we are not going to try for the $100,000. We are going to win the $100,000.
You think so, huh?
Get the pen out of your pocket, go over and write that check, man.
Okay,
You
lots
watch
of luck.
this.
Lots of luck.
Yeah, we know the rules. Extraordinary claims require extraordinary proof. Now, what does that mean? Well, it means if you've got an ordinary claim, it requires podunk proof. For instance, I'm claiming my partner here is standing next to me. You're not going to doubt that. Why should you? You've seen people stand side by side often. What's another ordinary claim? Well, that we're performing live here for all these wonderful people. We wouldn't lie about that. Why would we? Ain't a nickel in that lie. What's another claim? Oh, that the man directing this, Stan, has also worked with David Copperfield. You can tell that by the Mylar background. So, what is our extraordinary claim? Well, our extraordinary claim is that we are going to vanish a car into thin air. And where's our extraordinary proof? Well, we'll show you. First of all, it's a solid car. That's a real car. Also, extraordinary proof number 2, it ain't going underneath. There are no trap doors, no mirrors, no nothing. Extraordinary proof number 3, this car ain't gonna slide back out through the curtain. If cars move like that, even Teller could parallel park. Our extraordinary claim, we're gonna vanish a car. Our extraordinary evidence, watch. Randi, the check from mail.
No, I don't think so, Ben.
What do you mean, Randi?
Well,
Penn and Teller, it just goes to show you can't always believe what you see. We will see them again later, though, when they get back from the junkyard. Now, astrology is the art of predicting or reading a person's fate or future based on the juxtaposition of the sun, the moon, and the planets. Using the 12 signs of the zodiac as its symbols, astrology has been popular and controversial ever since it began in ancient Egypt, long before anyone ever said, "Hi, I'm Dave, what's your sign?" Which brings us to our next $100,000 challenge, astrology. Now, once again, our test protocol experts, Dr. Krippner and Hyman, have designed, with the approval of the challenger, a way to examine whether astrology really works. Prior to tonight's broadcast, the astrology challenger was given the time, date, and place of birth of a total of 12 men and women. Each of the 12 subjects was born under a different sign. All were born within 3 years of each other and have sworn they have never met the challenger. So using a detailed chart on each person, the astrology challenger was allowed to meet the 12 subjects and briefly interview them under strict supervision. He then told them what sign he thought they were born under. In a moment, we'll see if he was right. Astrology challenger Joseph Merriweather, 36, was born in Chicago. He became an accomplished astrologer in the 60s while living in the Haight-Ashbury district of San Francisco. He reads palms and eyes. All right, Joseph Merriweather has told the subjects to sit in front of what he believes to be their correct astrological signs. If he gets 10 out of 12 signs right, he will win $100,000. All right? Ladies and gentlemen, will you please look behind you at the sign our astrology challenger has given you? If you are not seated in front of your correct sign, would you please stand up and step forward? Ooh, well, I'm terribly sorry to say, Joseph, that we did not score well this time, but I thank you a lot for your courage, for coming here tonight and putting your powers to test. Thank you very, very much.
Coming up, psychic Uri Geller and the truth about medical quackery on Exploring Psychic Powers Live. Psychic Powers Live.
In preparing for tonight's show, the producers of this program and the amazing Randi, known to his friends as Amazing, searched the globe for stories about psychic phenomena and people who could demonstrate their effects. Randi and the producers interviewed hundreds of people who expressed an interest in appearing on Exploring Psychic Powers Live. Those taking part in tonight's $100,000 Psychic Challenge were selected because our experts were able to design a way to test their powers, and the challengers agreed to take those tests. All the challengers participated in the design of their tests and agreed to the test protocol.
person who deliberately misrepresents himself as possessing medical or other healing skills. Fortunately, this man is not a quack. He's a curator of the Museum of Questionable Medical Devices at River Place in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Ladies and gentlemen, Bob McCoy.